Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Delays and welcome back to Super Hostile Modded Dalania. In the last episode, we went back to the base and we did a little bit of research. We found some rumors in Dalan City, and that led us to a couple of places, including here, which this is a research facility. And it's in one of the ruined towns to the north of our base. If this doesn't have anything or it looks like it's too strong, I did find a creeper too, but I don't know if that's this area or if it's going to be worse in there. But if it's too strong, we can leave and continue heading. I think this is north, right? No, north. Continue heading north, and there is something else that we can go look at. I've started making notes on my actual physical map that I've printed out. I know, old school. But, yeah, so we are going to take a look in here. What does this say? Here, the Salvage Guild of Dalan map the Academy of Vayan on the third day. Okay. So, there might be wool here? I don't know. We're going to just... There's definitely things in here. We can... murder these guys, alright. I don't know what kind of spawners we're going to deal with. I hear something not super nice. Mummies. Great. I didn't want to deal with those guys anymore. Hi. Oh, great. Oh. We need to retreat. We need to retreat very quickly. I'm not so worried about, some things, but those guys are really bad news. So we're going to let them get closer. Luckily, they can't destroy our helmet, but they're going to do a ton of damage to us. And so we're going to get out of here. We're going to retreat real quick. If I can remember which way is out. Also... not having too much frame rate issues, but I did have a little bit last time. I think I know why. But we're going to get out of there and try to let those guys despawn. Because I don't want to deal with that. Also, that chest was not there a second ago. Okay. So, yeah, this area, we need to get away for a second. Heal up. Those guys did a ton of damage very quickly, and it's because of lightning. Lightning is just awful. But let's go ahead and throw all this stuff in there. I grabbed a shovel from the one place, just because, where we were hiding, just because there was a lot of stuff, like, our shovel's gonna break, and there's a bunch of shovels in there. So let's do some skills up. What do we want? Can't do farming, not yet. We could do a little bit of agility. What's some skills that we want? Battle Spirit, 6. Killing a monster gives you a short strength buff. Yes. Defense. Effect Twist. Yes, that's good. And Undershirt is pretty good. Gathering, Lucky Fisherman. I don't really fish all that much. Magic, Golden Osmosis, Safe. Don't care about that right now. Farming stuff, we'll get this stuff later. Step assist. Alright, let's just get some more levels in agility. Mostly just to use our experience. And let's head back in and see if things are a little bit calmer. The problem that we're going to run into is this is a mesa biome, and so we're going to have mesa enemies in this area. And I should kind of explore some of this just to see what we have. I believe this is a market. But yeah, it looks like the mummies despawned. Nope. They're still mummies. Ghastly bulwark. Okay. If they're not... Ow. They're still very, very strong. Alright, well. Earthen battle mages. Alright, we need to get out of here. We need to get out of here very quickly. This place is too strong for us, so we're going to head somewhere else. Is there anybody following us? No. So we're going to make note of this place. I have a funny feeling, I don't know why I think this, other than there's a lot of green blocks in the area. I feel like it's going to be the green wool. So, we're gonna pick up our stuff. That is the wrong button. I hit the quest button. Ooh, we have a quest. Reputable hunting for magic stuff. Okay, we'll deal with that later. All right, so we're retreating out of here. That place was awful. And let's get all of our stuff. We did get a copper token, which is kind of nice. So what we're gonna do now is, did I pick up the fence post? All right, I must have put it back in here. It's fine. So what we're gonna do is we are going to head north. The reason we're going to go north is because we are kind of on the edge of the island. We're gonna head this general direction, and there was talks in the Dalan City book about a resort for the noblemen and whatnot that was basically north of the other ruins that is over here. And there is also a tower in this direction, so we can always go over there if we wanted to teleport completely elsewhere. Which eventually we are going to have to do that. We're going to have to go down to Siren's Cove. There is a lot of stuff down there. And I mostly just, we're kind of still at the point where we need to get a little bit stronger before we can really take on a lot of these places. And not knowing, okay, so this is the one ruins. Where is this called? Nispa. So basically we need to go 1,000 blocks north of this, but in order to do that, I'm gonna have to grab my piece of paper. In order to do that, we're gonna need to go around the bay that's here. But yeah, there is a noble's retreat in this general direction. And we're going to want to sleep here in a moment. So let's go ahead and do that. How about right here? No, get back over here. I really despise the horses doing that. So yeah, there is a noble's retreat that is basically directly north of us. In the mountains, we'll find it. I don't remember exactly where it was. It's been a little bit since I recorded, but it shouldn't be too hard to find. So I'll tell you guys what, I am going to head that direction. No reason for you guys to kind of hang around with me doing this type of stuff. So I am going to figure out where north is. I'm going to head over that direction and see if we can't find the Noble's Retreat, which should be just that direction. Where are we at? About 71. So I'm going to head that direction, and I will bring you guys back in when I find something. So that didn't actually take all that long. There is a tower that little direction, which is in the north part of the map. We kind of knew about that. There is also a lot of hostile mob spawns, but I found it. It's right there. So we're kind of on the north side of the. So looking at the map, this is like the farthest the mountains go north of the ruins, and yeah, we're basically here. This building looks cool. I'm a little worried of what we might find here. Well, there's some spiders for one. So yeah, this is definitely something. Boats. There's a sunken boat. Let's get over here. And once again, this is probably invisible. Okay. Uh-oh. That's terrible. Okay, so we probably just lost our horse. Fishing rod. Don't really care about that. These skeletons look... Ow. Oh, it's... something riding something. That's never a good sign. Was that a blaze rod? I didn't know they could drop blaze rods. Alright, let's try to get our horse. And so yeah, this area looks like it's another one that's gonna be in the future. But it looks cool. It definitely looks cool. Let's try to save our horse. Can you just get on some blocks? Hey, that works. Oh, that didn't work. Okay. But that should work. These horses are too fast sometimes. Ooh, lag spike. This is not good. Alright. That is always terrifying. Yeah, these guys are dangerous. And I kind of want to, like, peek. But at the same time, I don't think that's a good idea. We could probably climb the mountain. That doesn't seem like a terrible idea. But yeah, this is the Noble's Retreat. And it's also probably a late game mole. Just judging by the size and what we got greeted with, I'm going to say we should probably stay away. But I want to just see. Let's go ahead and put that down. Let's grab our lead. You stay right here for a moment. I just want to, like, see if we can see anything. I mean, I'm sure Vex, the map maker, probably thought of this, but we could always kind of go to the top of this area and work our way down, but I'm gonna guess that things are probably... That's probably where we need to go. There, I see a creeper, so we do have a wide area spawner. But let's see what we can see. Actually, let's be smart about this. Let's do a couple of things. One, let's set our spawn over here. Man, this is terrible to navigate. But let's just, yeah, we're getting a lot of mob spawns during the day, which I don't think is that unusual with some of these mobs, but at the same time, like, I don't want to deal with things. By the way, there is the mage tower. So let's see, is there a spot we can just do something like this? Set our spawn. Put all this stuff in here. Torches. If we lose anything, we don't really. I think the most important thing that we can lose right now is levels. And honestly, not really that big of a deal. So let's see if we can just sneak into this area and see what's going on. Because I have a funny feeling it's gonna be rough. This is a gigantic. So with a place like this, there's going to be something on the top. There's probably going to be more stuff in the basement. I just wish I could tell a little bit easier, like, what to expect from this. And I'm not worried about, you know, dealing with the ice wraiths. I think is what they're called. But what do we have in here? Is there anything? Yes, maybe. And get some purpur. I don't know that that's particularly useful. But the problem that I'm going to have is okay, those things are not nice. There is 2 chests there, which is kind of cool. So let's dig in here and see what we can find. This is not the intended way. But I'm not seeing, like, anything. I just want to know what is up with this place. Like, what kind... I mean, I heard stuff up here. So, if there's anything that we can learn... Let's pillar up. Alright, there is... Alright, it is just darkness up here. Haha. There are a lot of guys. Let's grab all that loot. Alright, we're like out of blocks, and I don't think there's actually anything up here. This might just be decorative. It might be solid, because it's too easy to come from the mountains and to get into this area. If I had to guess, digging down is probably going to be what kind of reveals anything to us, but I also don't want to do that. Let's go ahead, put all this stuff away that we can. Let's sleep up here. Yeah, I don't know that this is an area we want to explore either, because it's scary. Everything is scary in this map. But what we can do is we can potentially... I have a water bucket. Let's be somewhat smart about this. And put it underneath something that's not going to let it freeze. And there are bunnies. Because this is all grass. Alright, we can drop down here. And let's see what's in these chests. If this will kind of give us a hint. Gold. Iron gear. Okay, these are just random loot chests, but they're usually tiered. So, stronger... Felt like there was a point where we changed biomes, but maybe not. So stronger areas might have better loot chests. That scared me so much. Mostly because I was looking over the edge. There is a chest down there. Okay. So I don't know what to make of this area. I don't think I want to do too much exploration here. Not at this point anyways. Just because I do think that we're going to run into the issue of there's way too much stuff here that's too strong. I didn't like the skeletons that we encountered. And I'm being very cautious. We have what, 2 wool at this point. I don't want to the thing I hate about maps like this, where it is very open and like open world, we can go wherever we want. I don't know where the early dungeons are per se. We went to the White Wool dungeon, which is like in that direction, but this doesn't feel like, you know, the Orange Wool or something like that. This feels a lot stronger. This feels a lot more late game. It's kind of hidden. So it's one of those things of like, I don't want to go too far before we kind of have... I don't want to go too far into an area that turns out to be like a late game dungeon. This certainly feels like it. The research facility definitely felt like a later, probably a late mid. So like Greenwool. By the way, if you want to know the order of the dungeons, there you go. So this feels like it could be a blue or purple. It might be even later. I don't think so. There is a spoiler log that I can always go look at to see what wolves are what. But we know like where a gray wool is. We took on the yellow wool, and that was difficult enough. So I would like to figure out if we can find the orange wool. That would be nice. But what we're gonna do is I am going to very slowly go down this. Do we have an atlas? We're gonna try to make our way down here without getting too hurt. And I want to mark this on the atlas as the Noble's Retreat, just so I know exactly where it's at in the world. And then we can definitely, like, if I could see the mob levels from the spawners, but we're gonna just do this. We're gonna say danger, Noble Retreat, and we're gonna get out here. So the only other thing that I know that's up here is the Mage Tower, which is right around the corner. We should be able to see it in a second. And that is an easy way to get back up here if we so choose. But what I'm going to do is I am going to head back to the base. I'm going to drop off our inventory, all that kind of fun stuff. Yeah, so right there's the Mage Tower. We're going to drop off the inventory. We are going to head back to the spur where there is another Mage Tower. And I'm going to head there so that we can go ahead and teleport to Siren's Cove. I know from... I looked up before I ran all over the place. None of the other cities, there's only 3 cities that have taverns with rumor books. And so the only other one that has one, we found one in Manka. We found one in Dalan City. There is one in Siren's Cove. Those are the only places you can get the books. And so that's what I'm going to go do. We're going to go to Siren's Cove. We're going to explore around there a little bit. Might be a dangerous place. I don't know. And I do know that there is... there is a wool near that area. I don't know which one, but I do know that there's a wool. So... things that we're going to do. So I'm going to cut away again. I'm going to go de-loot. We do have a lot of treasure stuff. I mean, we can get a bunch of stuff from magic hunting. That is stuff that we'll do another time, I think. But right now, we're just going to go ahead and head back to the base. I'm going to get rid of all this stuff, and then I'll basically meet you guys back at the tower. So... I will see you in a little bit. Alright, so we are in the Spur of Dalan, the Mage Tower over here, and the Mage Tower we saw up north is the Andam Tower. We can go to the Old Fort. The only one that we don't know is the Mulrand. This is near where we're going, but where we are going to go is to Siren's Cove, which is 1 gold block. We have a lot of gold, so I don't care. So we're going to head there and see what we can encounter. So, Willowwood River. Now, I don't know that it's dangerous here, per se. It is very pretty. It's very green. Welcome to Siren's Cove. So, if I remember correctly, it did warn us that there are going to be a lot of monster girls here. Because that is... kind of what this area is about. But I haven't seen anything yet, so we'll see. There's some command blocks over here. What do we have here? Modded. Populate. Oh, so we can populate it. Oh, hi. There's a lot of you. They're villagers. They actually trade. Interesting. I'm gonna populate because why not? Doesn't really matter. Ender pearls to get a bunch of stuff. That's cool. I like that you can buy ender pearls. Diamond boxes, book satchels. Those require trader tokens. We get that from Heart of Giganite and inert rings. Slime girls. Okay, so yeah, there's monster girls. Anyways, let's see what we can figure out here. So we need to find, there is going to be a tavern somewhere. This is not. I'm not going to populate anymore. Meditation spot. We do not need that. Okay, so that's what this is. And this comes down to something. Old Garden of Paths Monument. We remember Valgard. So this is going underwater. And interesting. This is big. What is this? This is different. But big flower fields, bunch of torches everywhere. Let's hit one. Okay, so these aren't doing anything. Not that I can tell. So I don't know what is up with this area, other than there is a bunch of the grottos. Not really gonna bother with those right now. So, interesting. There's lore. Don't know what the lore is, per se, but there's lore. Yeah. I gotta fix that. We got a sign because of the populate. Cool. We got some diamonds. And apparently, I don't know what that one is. Kill a grotto with a fortune pick. Oh, okay. Cool. So, yeah. This area is not dangerous. I wondered if it was going to be. I didn't think it would be, but there's always a chance. So we have the Special Command Plaza. Girls side. Boys and girls side. Okay. Oh, this must be for a bath. Yeah. There are some sponges, though. It looks like it doesn't matter. They all go everywhere. The same places. So, interesting. Not super, like, not seeing anything super important yet. I don't know what this building is. This looks like it might be a tavern or a restaurant. It looks like it's the tavern. Perfect. This is what we were looking for. Please come again. Cookies. We can get cookies. Wait. Are there actual... There's barrier blocks. We can't get back there. Aw. Need a server. Yep. So, fast cooker. Cool. Apples, carrots, bread. This looks like it's a bakery. I don't see any signs like saying the name of it, but it's a bakery. Alright. More stuff. What is this? Another like bakery area, kitchen. There's a lot of these, it seems. So, where might there be a tavern? This looks like a blacksmith. Not really seeing anything in here, but I mean, bunch of ores. There's some gold. It'd be nice, but we don't need it. I'm not gonna take it. I did see a chest from like the interior, but I can't unless we can go to the other side. I do need to mark this place on my like atlas just so we know where it's at. Yeah, there's like, how do we even get in there? Interesting. There's stuff in there, but we can't like let's just go this way. Oh, I didn't see those doors. But there's nothing here, so it doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and I'll repair the wall. Okay, so this is a unique looking building. Almost dirt, oh my god. This one. Super special jewelry shop. Oh my god. I hate it. You can be healthy, but I can have something. Okay, so buy 3 special silt. Oh, okay, the silt. Buy 1 junk heart. Dragon parts. Okay, we trade the bestest. Okay, I don't know. Fruits. I don't like this place. that place hurts. So the bird roost. So this is for birds. Nests. Okay. Still haven't found what we were looking for. There is a tavern here somewhere, I swear. I do not want to go into the jewelry shop ever again. That was painful. I don't. That's just not fun. Fun to read. So let's see. This looks like stables. Weedles. There's nothing in here. Pickles, no eating. Okay. This place is awful, but it's also kind of funny. I've just got to figure out where. I mean, not going in there. By the way, there's also blocks on the ground. I keep getting very thirsty very quickly. It is annoying. Alright, so I guess let's continue walking around. I might as well go ahead and mark this place. This looks like a good place. Let's get this. What do we want to do? That. Siren Cove. Just so I know exactly where it's at. Are you modded jewelry shop over there? I hate that I said it that way. What is all of these? There's a bunch of like houses, but not really. I wish I knew. Oh, what? That's odd. Okay, you know what? Here's what we're gonna do. There is a stable thing, horse thing, some chests here. I wonder if they have like defenses. No, nothing. None of the chests have anything. This is like obviously the gates, and there is our horse station right here. So we're gonna go ahead and spawn a basic horse. Oh, I need to have a gold ingot. Alright, so that will at least let us to get around a little bit faster. So cafe, this looks like docks. Yeah, there's that big thing in the water. I don't know, like, premium guests only. Sheep. And a big dark well. I don't like the looks of that, but I'm going to have to explore that at some point. So that is not the tavern. We need to figure out where we can get the... Staying away from that place. Farming district. A lot of sugarcane and cocoa beans, but we don't really need any of that right now. Okay, so it's got to be in this direction. What did... Those don't have signs. So this is just a bunch of houses. At some point, we'll find something. There's a pit for chickens, apparently. And let's see. There's the church. That. More stuff. Okay. I don't know. Locals Legends. Here it is. There's not a tavern. We're proud to have a library full of all the books we found. Thank you, adventurers, for bringing back such treasures. Alright, so 5 gold. And this is what's important. So, at this point, we're going to go through this. And writing the volume of Local Legends has been the most interesting experience I've had in quite some time. As I believe that's supposed to say neutral. So I'm going to just do this, and I'm going to... Oh no. I apologize if you have to read some of this stuff. But I'm going to just kind of go through this. I'm not actually reading it all that much. But I am going to let you guys read it. If you would like, pause it. And then I'm going to read through it between episodes and see what all we can get out of this. It's going to give us more places to go look at. And I'm hoping that we can figure out someplace that's not too terrible. Alright, so Slime Girl apparently got a hold of this. I'm also going to... Just want to see, these are just storage chests. There's an enchanter. That's kind of cool. Horse, would you not? What kind of enchants? I don't have anything that I can enchant. Does look like it's a full level enchantment though. I do want to real quick. I guess we'll do this while I have you guys with me. I want to see what's with this gigantic pit in the middle of the sheep farm. Let's grab some torches. Mining is hard. Are we actually at, like... No. So theoretically... Wait. There might be bedrock here, but... Okay, so there's just a giant hole. I don't know why, but there is. I'm not questioning anything in this place because it is weird. So I'm going to call the episode here, and we're going to come back next time. We're going to figure out where to go. The Dead Library might be a place to go look at. I don't know how difficult it's going to be, but it definitely is someplace that we can go find. And I know this talks about it, so, and I also know that it's relatively close to here. So that is going to be the plan. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. A little bit longer. We kind of chickened out of 2 different places, but we don't have the best of gear yet. We'll get there, but right now we're still a little weak. So we need to find some easier roles to go take on and go from there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!